Welcome back to Prime Tire. Today we are diving straight into the action following the Miami Grand Prix. We start with the weather drama that completely shook up the event. We have to talk about how the severe thunderstorm forecast forced the F1 organization and the Miami GP organizers to make a massive decision, moving the race start up by 3 hours. This shift immediately threw a wrench into the plans for every single team, forcing operations managers like Neil Hanley at Haas to completely overhaul their logistics, changing breakfast plans from the hotel to the track and adding significant extra costs for guest meals. You won't want to miss how this early change impacted the entire operation.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This Allen 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the incredible performance and character displayed by Kimi Antonelli. This young talent is showing incredible resilience, and the Mercedes social media team is having a blast highlighting his hilarious antics, from playfully pranking his race engine Peter Bonington to even sleeping through a tire test. We explore the real feeling behind the wheel as Antonelli described the sprint race, revealing a moment that felt like he had a hairdryer in his face instead of a hairdresser. This glimpse into his mindset is essential for understanding the rising star. Now, let's turn our attention to the mixed results at the Miami Grand Prix, focusing on the Alpine team. While Alpine looked poised for success with drivers qualifying 8th and 9th, the main race turned into chaos, causing Pierre Gasly to lose 2 positions and leading to a dramatic collision involving Liam Lawson. We break down the sequence of events, including the gearbox failure that caused the incident, and how Franco Colapinto managed to secure his best finish yet, despite the turmoil. Alpine leaves Miami with 5 points, but their standing in the Constructors' Championship remains a major talking point. Finally, we confront the tough reality for Mercedes and the future of the sport. Toto Wolff has spoken out, stating that poor starts are simply not acceptable for a team aiming for world titles, and he is demanding immediate fixes. We examine why the poor starts are so critical, especially as McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull are all bringing significant upgrades. We also discuss the FIA's new low-power start detection system and what it means for Mercedes' immediate priorities moving into Montreal. Stay with us to find out what this means for the championship fight. The 2026 Miami Grand Prix was significantly impacted by adverse weather conditions, forcing organizers and the FIA to make a crucial decision to move the race start 3 hours earlier than originally scheduled. This precautionary measure ensured the race ran dry, with teams only encountering actual rain upon returning to their hotels. The schedule change created operational complexities for teams, particularly regarding hospitality and logistics. Haas team operations manager Neil Hanley detailed how the early start necessitated a shift in meal arrangements, requiring the team to organize a full breakfast service at the track and execute late-night shopping to ensure provisions were available for both the team and the 15 sponsors attending the event. Senior hospitality manager Haley Gillett noted that these adjustments resulted in additional costs for food and guest catering, though she expressed flexibility due to the early stage of the season. In the race itself, Haas drivers Ali Behrman and Esteban Ocon experienced mixed results, finishing 11th and 13th respectively, marking a pointless weekend for the team as neither driver scored in the sprint race. Elsewhere, Alpine faced turbulence in the main race, with Pierre Gasly suffering a significant incident involving a collision with Liam Lawson after Lawson's gearbox failed. Despite the incident, Franco Colapinto secured a strong finish, earning a promotion to 7th place after a penalty was applied to Lewis Hamilton. Alpine ultimately left the weekend with 5 points and remained in 5th in the constructors' standings. In a separate area, the Red Bull team faced internal pressure. Isack Hadjar experienced a solo crash on Sunday, but the primary concern highlighted was the growing gap between Hadjar and Max Verstappen in qualifying sessions, a pattern noted following recent car upgrades. This situation raises concerns about Hadjar's standing within the Red Bull lineup as the team navigates changes in driver performance and potential future direction. Amidst the racing action, Kimi Antonelli emerged as a standout, showcasing irrepressible character and humor, drawing positive attention from Mercedes' social media team. Antonelli shared a humorous anecdote about experiencing a hairdryer instead of a hairdresser during a sprint race. Regarding the competitive landscape, the resurgence of McLaren in the early season was noted, though the overall contention for wins is complex, balancing historical performance with recent developments. The event underscored the unpredictable nature of Formula One, where strategic decisions, like the race start adjustment, and on-track incidents dictate the final outcome. F1 figure Juan Pablo Montoya is currently persona non grata on Grand Prix 247 until he resumes his medication. The statement was made by the website Grand Prix 247. In related motorsport news, there was also commentary on a recent race, highlighting a particularly satisfying spin and save executed by Max Verstappen in slow motion during the Miami Grand Prix. Toto Wolff has issued a pointed statement directed at critics of the proposed Formula One regulations for the 2026 season, suggesting they should remain silent ahead of the Miami Grand Prix. The comments indicate a desire to focus on the upcoming race rather than dwelling on the contentious rule changes being debated by the motorsport community. Wolff's remarks suggest a strategic move to manage the narrative surrounding the future of the sport, signaling an intent to let the action speak for itself in the immediate term. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has strongly criticized the team's poor starting performance in recent Formula One races, stating that such starts are not acceptable for a team aiming to secure both world titles this year. The criticism stems from the significant number of lost positions experienced by their drivers, including Kimi Antonelli, across the opening race weekends of the 2026 season. During the first 3 opening race weekends, Antonelli accumulated 18 lost positions, with further losses occurring in the Miami sprint and main races. Wolff acknowledged that the starts were a team mistake, emphasizing that the issue lies in the team's execution, specifically citing shortcomings in providing drivers with optimal tools, such as clutch and grip estimates. Wolff stressed the urgency of the situation, stating, "We need to fix it. We've been watching this for far too long." He admitted that while Mercedes held a temporary advantage, this cannot continue indefinitely as competitors are making progress. Wolff indicated that Mercedes is currently the only team not mastering the start procedure, asserting that the gaps are not large enough to rely on. The solution for improving starts must originate from Mercedes itself, as the FIA is not planning further procedural changes. This situation is further complicated by political sensitivities, as rivals like Ferrari possess inherent competitive advantages, such as a smaller turbo, which they are unlikely to relinquish. In response to start issues, the FIA is testing a new safety system in Miami and Montreal involving a low-power start detection. This system triggers an automatic limited MGUK deployment if cars exhibit abnormally low acceleration after clutch release, aiming to prevent dangerous incidents. However, the FIA has clarified that this mechanism is not a solution for persistent start deficiencies for teams like Mercedes, nor is it intended to incentivize deliberate actions by drivers. FIA single-seater director Nicolas Tambazis confirmed that the system will convert a disastrous start into a bad one, not a bad start into a good one. Consequently, improving the start remains a high-priority item for Mercedes, alongside the planned major technical package scheduled for the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal.